Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is Style in V, and this is a tutorial on how to draft a basic short sleeve and long sleeve. Okay, so you can see how the sleeve is after drafting it. Okay, so if it's something you're interested in, kindly stay tuned and watch this video. So the first thing, I'm teaching you guys how to take your basic sleeve measurements. Okay, how to take your basic short sleeve and long sleeve measurements. So the first thing for you to note is that your hands should be on your waist like this when taking a sleeve measurement. Okay, and your tape should be on your shoulder bone. Okay, your tape should be on your shoulder bone. So that is where you start taking all your measurements, where your sleeve and your shoulder connects. Okay, so the first measurement for us to take is the short sleeve. So this is just very simple. This is to take from your shoulder bone to where your sleeve ends. That is where your short sleeve ends. Okay, and for the long sleeve, you take from your shoulder to your elbow and from your shoulder to your sleeve length. Okay, that is for the basic long sleeve. So the next thing you just go ahead to do is to take the round circumference, and for the round circumference, the first measurement is to take your round biceps. That is the fuller side of your arm like this. Okay, the fuller side of your arm like this. So it's your round biceps. So this is your round biceps. Okay, so after taking this, the next measurement for you to take is to take where your short sleeve end. You go ahead and take the round circumference of where your short sleeve ends. Okay, you go ahead and take this measurement like this. Okay, as you can see me showing you guys right now. And the next measurement for you to take is to take your round elbow circumference. Now please note that your hands should still be on your waist, or your client's hands should still be on their waist when taking the sleeve measurement. Okay, so you go ahead and take your round elbow circumference around your elbow. For the length of your long sleeve, you not take it around where your sleeve ends. No, you'll be taking it on your hands. Okay, because if you take it on this part, by the time you want to wear your sleeve, it won't be able to pass. So you take it on your hands. Okay, around your hands like this. So this is where you take the length of your sleeve like this. So you go ahead and fold your thumb like this. Okay, yes, before taking your round hand circumference like this, and you just go ahead and take the round measurement like this. So ensure that your tape will be able to pass through it like this. Okay, so whatever you have, you go ahead and notice down. So let's start the drafting process. So all you need is your pattern paper, your tape, your ruler, your marker, and your scissors. Okay, so you can do this directly on your fabric. Okay, you must not do this on your pattern paper, so you can do this directly on your fabric. So the first thing to notice is that my pattern paper is on fold. Yes, I've gone ahead to fold my pattern paper, and the next thing for me to do is to get the start line. And for this start line, I will come down by 1 inch from the top of my pattern paper like this, and I'll just go ahead and mark. So this is where all my drafting will be starting from. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and connect them all like this, as you can see me doing right here. So the next thing for me to do is to take my bicep line. Okay, I'll just go ahead and mark my bicep line, and to get this bicep line is to come down by 4.5 inches from your start line. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and mark. So this depends on your body type. For those with a bigger arm, you can use 5 inches to get your bicep length. Okay, so the next line to mark is your shoulder to elbow. So this is the long sleeve. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and mark my shoulder to elbow like this, as you can see me doing right here. So I'll just go ahead and connect the lines like this. I'll go ahead and mark it like this. Okay, and the next line to mark is the shoulder to the sleeve length. Okay, so this is the long sleeve, so this depends on how long you want it to be. So I'll just go ahead and mark my shoulder to my sleeve length, and I'll connect all the lines together like this. Okay, as you can see me doing right here. Okay, so this is what we have. So the next thing for us to do right here is to mark 4.5 inches on the start line. I'll go ahead and mark 4.5 inches on the start line and also on my bicep line. So this will serve as a guide in order for us to get our sleeve shape. Okay, so after marking these lines together, I'll go ahead and get the midpoint of this line and I will mark right here. And I'll connect a straight line to meet the midpoint like so. Okay, so all this will serve as a guide. So the next thing for you to do is to divide your bicep circumference by 2. Okay, I'll go ahead and divide my bicep circumference by 2 and I'll add my 1.5 inches sewing allowance. And on the elbow line, I'll go ahead and divide my elbow circumference by 2. Okay, and I'll add my sewing allowance of 1.5 inches. And on the sleeve length, I'll go ahead and divide my hands circumference by 2. That's the measurement you took around the hands area. I'll go ahead and divide it by 2. Okay, so the next thing for us to do is to give it the sleeve shape, and I'll be using this curvy part of my ruler to start from the start line to meet the midpoint of the straight line that we have. So you can see what we did. So you can do this using your free hand. Okay, after giving it this shape, the next thing for you to do is to flip your ruler to the other side and connect from this midpoint to your sewing allowance. That is the last line of your bicep circumference like this. Okay, so you can see how I am connecting this. Okay, so just watch the video carefully. You understand what I did right here. So the next thing for me to do is to connect all the straight lines together. I'll go ahead and connect all the shaping allowance that I add, okay, together like this. Okay, you just go ahead and connect all the straight parts from your bicep to meet your elbow and from your elbow to meet your sleeve length like this. Okay, so this is what we have. So this is all for the long sleeve. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and trim this off so that you guys will see what we have. Okay, so this is the sleeve. Okay, so I am done cutting it and this is the long sleeve. So let's proceed to cut the short sleeve. So to draft the short sleeve, I'll go ahead and fold my pattern paper into 2 equal halves like so. Okay, as you can see me doing right here. And the next thing for me to do is to take the start line. I'll go ahead and mark 1 inch. The same thing I did for the long sleeve. I'll go ahead and mark 1 inch for the start line like so. Okay, as you can see me doing right here. And I'll connect all the lines together like this, as you can see right here. After doing this, the next thing I'll take is the bicep line. Okay, and I'll come down by 4.5 inches to get my bicep line like this. Remember I said it depends on your body and you can use 5 inches if you're on a bigger size. Okay, I'll just go ahead and connect all the lines together like this. And the next line for me to mark is the length of my short sleeve. Okay, so this is how, depends on how short you want it to be. I'll just go ahead and mark the length of my short sleeve like this. Okay, and I will connect all the lines together like this, as you can see me doing right here. So the next thing for me to do is to come in by 4.5 inches from the midpoint on the start line and also on my bicep line like this. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and connect the lines together. So this will serve as a guide in curving our sleeve. Okay, so the next thing for me to do is to get the midpoint of these lines right here, and I'll just go ahead and mark, and I'll just give it a straight rule to meet the midpoint of my pattern paper like this. After doing this, I will divide my bicep circumference on this bicep line by 2. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and add my 1.5 inches sewing allowance to it. And on the sleeve length, I'll divide my sleeve, that is my round arm circumference, by 2, and I will add my 1.5 inches sewing allowance like this. Okay, and after doing this, the next thing for me to do is to make the sleeve shape. Okay, and so I'll take my ruler to connect from my start line to meet the midpoint of this straight line. Okay, so like this. So you can use a free hand to do this. So, and from this midpoint, you flip your ruler to connect from the midpoint to meet your bicep circumference. Okay, so let me do this part again so that you guys can understand better. So I'll go ahead and place my ruler like this and connecting from this start line, okay, like this, to meet this midpoint of this 4.5 inches straight line that we took. And after doing this, you flip your ruler to the other side. Okay, you flip your curve ruler to the other side and connect to meet your bicep circumference like this. Okay, so this is what we have. So you can see what we have right here. So the next thing for me to do is to connect the straight lines together like this. I'll connect the biceps and the sleeve lengths together. So this is what we have. So you can see how the short sleeve is. So I'll just go ahead and trim this off so that you guys will see what our sleeve looks like. So if you've watched these points, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and get updated whenever I post a new tutorial videos. Okay, so this is our short sleeve and you can see what we have right here. So you can see what we have right here. So I'll just go ahead and label it as short sleeve and also our long sleeve. Okay, so this sleeve, and thank you so much for watching to this point. So see you in our next video. Bye.